a million times better. On probably the best support right now. Rumble, one of the best solo laners right now. Corki, one of the best dual lane carries right now. I mean, Orianna pick, I'm not too sure about at all. I mean, it is a source of AP damage, but I think there are just so many other better options out there. You know, they got the likes of Lilia, you got Jax, you got Volibear that you can pick up as well. There are so many better options, and forcing yourself onto a pick like Orianna, honestly, I don't think Orianna even scales better than Corki right now. Corki just scales so much better right now with the man immune build, with the amount of burst damage that you're able to deal. And even some of these mages are going to find a much more difficult time. As you mentioned, it will probably be that duo lane Orianna, which sometimes get put into the mid lane anyway. We'll have to see if it's maybe a side lane Orianna or if it's going to be in that middle lane with the support as well. But meanwhile, we're going to be seeing the Varus and Shyvana band with Fiora and Wukong. So even Vapo themselves are not really too sure where this Orianna is going with that Varus ban.
Yeah, honestly, I don't either. I mean, if it's a timing pick here, like I'm not gonna like discount it because we discounted the Vladimir last year.
Just end the game already, please. Just end the game already, please. It's so if
Vapo going for so many power picks here.
If Mango somehow win this, I don't know what I will do. I mean, the composition right now for Vapo is absolutely disgusting. They have so many power picks. They have so much scaling. Their team fight is just out of this world, to be fair. I mean, Vapo probably got one of the strongest comps, I think, of the entire meta. I mean, they're going to round it off with a jungler here, which, to be fair, they can probably go for multiple routes. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the comp of Mango right now, and I'm like, yeah, if I'm playing this Mango team right now, I'm like, yeah, I do not want to play this game. I do not want to play against a Nasus, an Ornn, Rumble, and a Corki. I mean, this is scary. Scary is an understatement.
Riven getting locked in here to be the final pick of Vapo. So again, I mean, if we look at this, is it going to be what Riven in mid lane potentially here? Riven in mid lane, Darius in top, Aatrox into jungle.
It will be the Poppy Orianna as that, you know, kind of dual lane. Poppy support can still be a great option. Even though we saw it on Patterson yesterday, it still is a great option to go into the support role. I think it'll probably be Aatrox jungle if I was to predict, but Riven can also go into the jungle as well. Darius will definitely be on one of them side lanes, but Zed being the last pickup in the jungle here, more of an assassin, more of the aggressive jungle style as well. Doesn't scale as well as some of these other champions that they have. I mean, the late game scaling for Vapo, they have the Nasus, they have the Corki, they have the Rumble scaling. Nasus is going to be such a big problem in this game. I mean, you can just wither someone like an Aatrox or a Darius. They don't really have an AD carry that you can wither, which is normally the best output for the Nasus, but still, I mean, against so many melee compositions, it's just, the draft gap is pretty big this game, Blam, from what I'm looking at. But if Mango still wins, I'll hold my hands up. I'll hold my hands up, I guess.
Throw them up. But I mean, like we were saying yesterday, when I asked you, like, what are the power picks going to be? And the fact that, like, they've picked, like, 3 out of the 5 power picks that you mentioned yesterday, which is obviously the Rumble, the Nasus, as well as obviously Corki, and even, like, Ornn obviously being one of, like, the top sort of, like, support picks within the meta and has been for quite some time. So let's lock in 4 power picks here for the side of Vapo. And like you said, if they do lose here against Mango, I mean, timing, like I was saying before we saw, and obviously flabbergasted by the Nasus pick, is that every one of his picks, we've kind of always been like a little bit of, okay, like a bit, we have a little bit of a reserved thought about this one, especially with the Vladimir. Swain made a lot more sense, but now he's going on to the Riven, which is obviously a lot more different to the playstyle of both the Vladimir and the Swain, right? Like, you are going to be kind of like thrusting yourself into that team fight, trying to get the CC from her first skill. It's going to be very strange to see how Timing overcomes this one and where the kind of focus is going to be for the side of Mango Esports.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think the playstyle is going to be completely different in this game. I think, you know, prioritizing the, potentially winning that 1 versus 1, he is going to be up against that Rumble in the top side. Not a very easy matchup for that Riven in the early game. You do have a lot of mobility, but Rumble can still do a lot of burst damage. So timing for now, still having a decent time into this top side with Rumble starting the, you know, the third ability just to try and farm from range. If Rumble, once Rumble gets to level 3, it becomes much easier for the Rumble to actually lane against this Riven. As you're seeing here with the Nasus, you know, Darius is going to have a field day for the first few levels. Nasus just needs to farm up as much as possible, try and get them stacks on the queue and trying to scale into that late game.
Yeah, it's going to be super. Obviously, we know where these players normally go, obviously, into the mid lane, but it's all these kind of like, obviously, lane switches that completely turn it around, because now, obviously, mid is going up against the Baron laner. Obviously, bot side is now going up against their mid lane. So just swapping around here, it could potentially be the early game key that they need here, but Timing definitely needs to get out of this one. Lucky for him, though, obviously, not having the Knight on Rumble there is going to be the sort of like the keepsake and the silver lining here for Timing.
And the shield still being very, very powerful here for the Rumble. Like you said, I'm very surprised that he took Barrier and not Ignite in this matchup, because when you're playing First Strike, you are going to be playing a lot more aggressive. You're going to be doing a lot more damage. You also have your second ability, which is up like every 5 seconds, which basically gives you a barrier every 5 seconds. So you don't actually need to worry too much about the defensive stats that you need. So yeah, surprised that he goes for a barrier from a more defensive standpoint, but I think he just wants to make sure that he doesn't die in these early stages of the game and try and scales into late game.
Oh, the double knock up onto the side of Mango Esports. Obviously, we almost saw Vapo go down, the Rumble go down there up to the top side of the map, but obviously taking the aggro is going to be Ornn and the Zed from that trip. But what a knock up into that T1.
Yeah, really nice play there. Really nice rotation from the Ornn as well. As you mentioned, that double knockup with the Zed coming in to help out as well. And that Rumble damage from First Strike. You're seeing how much burst damage that the Rumble is able to do. Really big advantage already for Vapo in this early game. And that's going to give Rumble a lot more easier time now against this Riven in the side lane.
Yeah, again, having that lead now. I mean, roughly around about, what, 500 gold at this point in time for the Rumble against the Riven, and vice versa as well for the Darius against the Nasus. It's not quite that kind of same kind of gap, obviously, thanks to that first blood. Definitely going to be the reason why we see that Rumble is going to be ahead by a little bit of a margin of gold here for now, especially in terms of these lane matchups. But overall, they are still ahead. Vapo around about 1.4k globally, so I feel like if they keep maintaining this, but like you said, into the draft they have too many power picks. If they fumble this bag, it's going to be a huge fumble.
Yeah, they already have such a big lead in this early game. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 though in this top side. The Ornn ultimate is going to try and stop them in its path. Look at the Rumble as well. The AoE damage from the Rumble ultimate is absolutely huge. Zed is going to be able to join the fight as well. So it is a 1-for-1 trade for now, but the Corki is rotating. It's going to be stopped in this track a little bit by that Orianna, but Corki could still look to try and go up into this top side. There are very low members, very low health bars here on the top side. Going to try and kill the Poppy. Is going to flash away instead, but again, you're seeing how much damage they're doing to this top lane tower already. I think they might even take it down.
Easily. I mean, this is going to be like probably one of the biggest setups here for the Enchanted Ensemble that comes up in around about 40 seconds time, but definitely a much stronger start here for Vapo. But like we keep saying about the draft, like, if they didn't have this stronger start, they need to rethink what they're going for, right? Like, the way they're playing this, obviously, power picks is definitely the reason why we've been threatening about these kind of champions coming through within the Rift Legends battle since, obviously, yesterday.
And I think with the Corki and Nasus as well, with the early game that they're having, it's going to mean that it's going to have a much easier time. And this is one of the reasons why Nasus is just so strong in the side lane right now. There was a buff that happened a few patches ago, which buffed a lot on from his first ability in terms of damage, cooldown going down, and also the mana cost going down. And also with the buff happening to the utility boost, which you see he is building right now, it just means that Nasus is going to be completely unkillable in the side lane and just tank so much damage, but can just keep scaling time and time again. And it looks like they're going to get another pick onto this Poppy as well, which means they're going to be able to take this Rift Herald away. They don't even need really this Rift Herald. They already took the first tower. It's just going to give them even more gold on the map if they can take it.
Yeah, even greater lead. But I mean, it looks like here that we're kind of seeing that Mango Esports is trying to kind of contest the Enchanted Ensemble for now, but I mean, Corky taking a bit of damage there. Timing's got to be careful. He's kind of found himself in a rock between a hard place and a rock there. Into the backline is going to be the Naza's taken down. Timing once more, and then Queenie on this Zed is not messing around. He's here for kills. He's here for fun. Timing, on the other hand, is quite not. Lilo is able to get the kill, but then Carlos is able to claim, thanks to the turret, a kill onto the Nazas.
4K goal lead already for Vapo. This is a much better game, but honestly, I'm not surprised. Again, going back to the draft, I mean, seeing the compositions of the two teams, I'm not surprised that this game is going the way it is right now. I mean, as I keep mentioning, the amount of power picks that are on the side of Vapo in this draft, how they get away with this. I mean, you basically send this screenshot of these team compositions to anyone really in the competitive scene for EMEA, and you're just going to think to yourself, how does the red team even get away with so many of these picks? Every single one of these picks can be considered a power pick. Zed maybe not too much, but still has, you know, great potential to be able to carry. But the rest of them, just getting them all into one draft, having this strong of an early game as well, means that the scaling is just going to be accelerated, and this late game is going to come much sooner for Vapo.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Zed definitely carries its own kind of weight within this draft, right? Like, they needed something to kind of, like, get in there, get out, and claim the kills. And obviously, thanks to his ultimate, as long as you kind of get, like, enough kind of markings onto your enemy, especially when they've already been damaged, thanks to the Rumble, thanks to Corky and Susan as well, it's like, you're going to be able to just take them down. And here again, potentially the takedown onto Queenie. As I'm hyping him up, the hype man has been cancelled. Queenie goes down within this 2v2 into the bot side of the map.
Yeah, it looks like they also got a kill into the mid lane as well. Aatrox also getting a kill onto the Corky. So a few misplays here by Vapo, and it means that a few extra kills are going to go in their side of Mango. This is something that they really don't want. Another pick as well with that Poppy support, getting that extra stun up against the wall. They're not going to be able to get any more kills just yet. On with the knock-up is going to mean that they're going to try and force themselves potentially still for this tower dive. It is very scary for now, but look who's coming. It's Susan. The Wither comes down and the bonk comes down as well. A kill onto the Aatrox, and he wants more blood. The dog is barking. He's going to keep chasing down. I don't think he's going to be able to get more kills, but that's more stacks over to the Nassas, and that means he's going to get even scarier as the game goes on.
Yeah, I feel like this is the motto. FF at 15, guys. I mean, Vapo is definitely going to be here trying to win this one a lot faster than that first game between Mango and themselves, right? Like, this is definitely like a big terms of domination for the side of Vapo. They needed this, right? Like I was saying, going into this one, Mango Esports was already 1 foot through the door. Vapo definitely didn't want to lose 2-0 at this point in the competition, because this would mean that it's the end of the road for not only, obviously, the battles, but potential going into the showdown. And speaking of the showdown now, Carlos is just trying to take Susanoo away from that team fight, able to push him away from Obsess and Timing for now. But Timing, deadly sorry, on the Orianna does get taken down here. And just look at the damage, the shred coming through here from the Rumble. It's just so impressive here for Timing to actually overcome.
It looks like they're going to try and play super aggressive here. They see the 2 versus 1 into the bottom side here. Patterson is going to get taken down, and with that 2 versus 1 in that top side, it means that Mango are going to try and get advantage in the top lane instead. So it is a 1-for-1 trade split across the map, but with Deadly going down so much earlier on in this fight, it means that the Corky can just push in this mid lane. That's tier 2 tower going down. They can take all these jungle camps in the bottom side of the map as well, and it just means that this Zed is going to get further and further ahead. 3,000 gold lead right now in the jungle for Queenie. This is the sort of pick that you love to see on this type of player. This carry style potential that we know that Queenie can perform on. The Volley Bear in the last game, more of a tank, doesn't really have that carry style, but if you put him on something like a Zed, he can get them crazy outplays in team fights.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of kind of like damage is built here, obviously itemization, lethality coming from Yumu's first item, and obviously Trinity Force being one of those like just all-round great items in terms of damage, health, and whatnot coming through from this itemization. But then obviously going into the second tier item for obviously the anti-healing side of Mango Esports for now. But yeah, honestly, 42k to 35. they're looking like a bit of a fish out of water here as they're approaching, obviously, these T2s into the bot side of the map as well as the top side. Big engage here. Timing probably has to try and get out of here. Deadly and Kalos is coming around here also, but so much pressure from this Rumble being placed down, point out of the competition, thanks to Kalos for now. But that's just going to be cauterizing the Rude. They're able to take the T2.
Yeah, tier 2 is going to go down. The Ornn actually sniped away the Aatrox in the end, so that's going to be another kill over to Vapo. And I mean, the difference in this game is just, you know, complete. It's just nothing's going to happen at all in this game. I think that it's just going to be a complete stomp, and there's no way that Mango can come back into this game. As I mentioned, it's just a huge draft gap at the start of this game. This is exactly what I predicted was going to happen, and this is exactly what happened in this game. You give over so many of these power picks, Queenie can just run around the whole map and just basically do what he's doing. The Orianna is just not working out. It offers that AP damage source, but there are just so many better picks. Another pick goes in here. You know, speaking of picks, onto the Riven. Looks like another kill is going to happen here. Onto the Poppy. There is just kill after kill after kill for Vapo, and they are not slowing down. Another kill onto the Poppy. They're just going to look to try and potentially go towards the Dragon, and the Baron is spawning in 15 seconds time. But as I was mentioning, there's just so many better power picks here other than this Orianna. You got like the Ziggs that can even be played. Like, it just becomes, you know, so much more powerful and gives you a lot more damage.
A lot more damage, and kind of like damage from a very safe distance as well, right? Like, his ultimate can be thrown from quite some range, quite a few yards within the rift. But like you're saying, they were going to rotate to the Dragon. They're able to claim the Dragon here as well. They've managed to kind of freeze the lane into the top side of the map. Obviously, we saw that Rumble went down there and took down that second wave, and now it's kind of naturally crashing in together. But I feel like, honestly, if they just take another team fight, go for the Baron Nashor here, Vapo could just easily finish this one.
Yeah, I think they're just going to force this Baron out. They're going to force the members of Mango to just walk towards them. They're playing around the vision as well. They're trying to play around this fog of war. The aggression comes through in onto the bot side. The Rumble ulti comes down as well as the Ornn ultimate. And look at them. They're all flashing forward.
Boink.
They just don't give a damn about anything. They actually tried to knock the Zed away, but Zed just came right back thanks to his shadow. And that means that they're going to be able to get another team fight win. The jungler is down for Mango. That means that they can rush towards this Baron.
Yeah, completely uncontested as well, right? Like, they're able to get this easily and just effortlessly. We do see here a little bit of a last Holy Mary play here for the side of Mango Esports, but already taking a lot of damage is Carlos. Carlos goes down as well, so that's already a chunky bit of the front line. Patterson is not going to be able to get the bleed onto anybody onto the side of Vapo, and down goes Timing as well. Last people standing is Obsessed. He's now back up. I don't think he's going to go into a 5v1 and try and get that smite out of this Baron Nashor, because by the time he gets there, it's gone.
Yeah. Nothing you could do. I mean, this game is just pretty over. I mean, there's just nothing that Mango could do. Their team composition just doesn't work out. The cohesion of the team composition, you know, with the likes of Darius, Riven, and Aatrox, they want these long, worn-out fights. They want to try and, you know, deal damage over time. Darius wants to try and get the resets, but there is just nothing that can happen right now. There's nothing that any of them can do right now. I think the difficulty is trying to figure out how you can really shut down the likes of Corki, the likes of Nasus, and even the Rumble at this point as well. There are so many threats for Vapo to try and shut down, and it's so difficult to try and focus multiple of them at the same time. And you're seeing the difficulty even with the wave clear now for the Orianna. Bot lane in tower is going down. They're playing this style of pushing all three lanes at once, and it's just going to make it so difficult for them to try and defend any of these towers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is probably just going to be the last little barrage here for the side of Vapo. They're able to take down Obsessed already. Like, honestly, we saw Aatrox yesterday. He was able to just tank so much damage, but this is a different story. When you're only 2 items in, and one of them is Serpent's Fang, one of them is Trinity Force, you aren't going to be able to get any damage going up this, well, take any damage from the side of Mango Esports for now. And look at this. Vapo straight into it, just trying to focus the back line, run them down a little bit here. Queenie's actually pretty low as well as a Tung Tung Sahur right now. But there we go. A little bit of a try to defend here is deadly timing for this last little bit. But no, Vapo take that 1-1. And like we were saying, if they weren't able to do that with this draft, they wouldn't be able to do it with any draft.
I mean, the bonk in the end, the Nasus making a huge difference, taking down the Nexus. A strong victory for Vapo, but honestly, it it was an easy win. I think when you go through from the draft, I mean, you put up like any team composition, you know, you put like 2 of the strongest teams, you know, in this Rift Legends battle, you put any other teams with them 2 compositions, you put one on the blue team, you put one on the